Hey, nerdy sports fan here. We're talking divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and this week we've got Tennessee going to visit Baltimore. Oh man, is that going to be a bloodbath? Now, Tennessee did the world a favor by knocking off the Patriots last week, and man, was that fun to watch. Derrick Henry dominated that game. Earlier in the week, I saw a meme that somebody put out there into the world of all the team leaders of each individual team that made the playoffs, all kind of staring at the Lombardi Trophy. And I noticed that every team in that was represented by their quarterback, except for Tennessee. They skipped over Tannehill and put Derrick Henry in there. And I thought that was a little shade towards Tannehill, but it's definitely because Tennessee only works because of Derrick Henry. Now, Baltimore is a running team too. Really. But that works because the quarterback runs. I mean, he put 1,000 yards on the ground this season. So all the other running backs, yes, they have success, but their success is increased because teams have to worry about the quarterback running. So there's less focus on Mark Ingram going up the middle when you got to worry about Lamar Jackson coming around the edge. That's just natural. So we have a very straightforward power running team in Tennessee going up against an extremely complex running scheme, but still a power running scheme in Baltimore. So both want to pound the rock. Both want to play solid defense that puts pressure on the quarterback. Who's more successful? Probably Baltimore. Nobody has been able to stop this buzzsaw for a long time. Baltimore is built to win the Super Bowl. They have the MVP quarterback. They have a great running attack. They have the best offensive line in the game today. They have a very good defense. They have a coach who has won the Super Bowl as a coach. That is a formula that does not exist anywhere else in the league now that Bill Belichick has been knocked out of the playoffs. They're very, very creative on offense in the running game. Part of the game that's been ignored by offensive creativity for the past decade. Won't be anymore. But Greg Roman, he's been obsessed with running game creativity ever since he was the offensive coordinator for the 49ers back in the day. When he moved to the Bills, he talked about that their rushing attack in the West Coast offense was very, very creative. And he's pulling formations. I mean, he's dusting off formations and game plans from the early 90s 49ers and just kind of updating it for the talent level that's on his existing team. The early 90s 49ers had an athlete quarterback in Steve Young. That guy had some wheels. So that scheme fits well for a guy with some wheels in Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's got way better wheels than frickin' Steve Young did. But that's the basis of this. Greg Roman has created something new, but he's used concepts from the past that have worked really, really well at championship levels. So I don't think Tennessee stands much of a chance in this one. I really don't. Tannehill is going to have to do so much more in this game than they had to have him do against New England. They will not be able to dominate pace of play with the running game and their defense in the way that they were against New England, because that's the same thing Baltimore's trying to do, and they have a better staff for it. So Baltimore will be able to dictate pace of play with their running attack and their defense. They've got a coach with a little bit more of a track record. Although I will say Vrabel made Belichick his bitch with some really, really good clock management late in that game that really won that game for the Titans. So I don't think John Harbaugh against Mike Vrabel really is benefit to the Ravens. I don't think that's a huge advantage. I think that's more of a push. But as far as talent out there, overall talent on offense and defense, both, really favors the Ravens. So most games are decided by 4 to 6 plays. Everything's going according to script, but 4 to 6 times a game, something doesn't, and it's up to the talent on the field to make something out of nothing. Make a big play where there wasn't one. And you just have more of those kinds of players playing for Baltimore than you do on Tennessee. Tannehill's been great. He gets the ball to A.J. Brown, which is something Mariota wasn't doing. He relies on the running game and play action passing much better than Mariota did. So he's stabilized that franchise and made it known that they actually do have playmakers on the outside. They just weren't getting the ball. So, yeah, I mean, overall yearly stats are a little skewed when you look at one team versus another because of the Mariota games. But do you think A.J. Brown's better than Hollywood Brown? Do you think insert name here for the rest of the wide receiving core is better than Willie Snead? Do you think Derrick Henry by himself is better than Mark Ingram plus Gus Edwards plus the legs of Lamar Jackson? It's very one-sided when you lay it out that way. I think the Ravens are going to destroy. They are just going to own this game. And the 10-point spread from Vegas points to that as well. I think that's about right. And I'd probably still bet Baltimore. They are built for this moment. As long as Lamar Jackson doesn't get hurt, they don't sustain major catastrophic injuries all over their defense during this game, they will demolish the Titans. I'm sorry, Titans fans. It's been a great run. You actually have a very good thing going and a great head coach. There's very good things for the future of the Titans, but this just is not the team to go against in the playoffs. Baltimore is a team of destiny this year. That's what I got for this game. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Hit the rest of the videos for more pregame playoff action, and hit up the Nerdy Sports Fan Weekly where we dive into the coaching hires that have happened this past week. Thanks, guys.